Hey everyone. Okay guys, get out a pen, get your poems out. This is the annotating part of the poetry reading. So I'm going to be annotating with you guys as I read it, all the language techniques used and the meaning that they all have. All right, we're going to start so this video doesn't drag on and you get bored of my voice. All right, here we go. So it's Blessing by Imtiaz Dharker. We're going to do it stanza at a time. So it starts off by saying, the skin cracks like a pod, there never is enough water. There's two techniques used in that stanza. The first technique that is used is a simile. Good guess, Milan. Well done. And the simile used is cracks like a pod. Okay? We're going to put a little arrow there, or a big arrow, because I don't know how to make them small. And we're going to talk about what this simile means. Now, we know that the setting of the poem is in the Dharavi slums. And so this, the use of this simile establishes the setting of the poem, okay? It tells the readers that this is set in the slums and that water to these people, they're drought, they're living in drought and they're lacking water so much that their skin is so cracked like a pod, okay? Have you ever had really, really dry lips? And when you come to smile, you think that your lips are just going to break and bleed. That's how they feel all the time because they're lacking that water. Okay, so you need to write establishes the setting. Just spoke, sorry about that. Establishes the setting of the poem, which are the dry lands of Dharavi slums. Okay, next part is the short sentence. It's a truncated sentence, and he says there never is enough water. Okay, this emphasizes, guys, the fact that they're in need of water and that they're living in a drought. Well, we just, we have water fights and spill water everywhere, and we just take it for granted. To them, it's such a it's a rarity and a treasure. So it's a truncated sentence which emphasizes the drought and need for water. Okay. That's what you need to write there. I'll just move this a little. There we go. All right, next stanza. Imagine the drip of it, the small splash. Now, when he talks and he says, imagine the drip of it. I don't know if you've heard this technique before, guys, but it's called imperative language, okay? All it means is that he is talking directly to the readers, okay? He's challenging the readers. He's telling them, I want you to imagine the drip of it, okay? And it reminds us of what water sounds like, and it reminds us of how precious it really is. You ever had those feelings where you're super thirsty and you're just dying for it, dying for a drink, and you imagine it going into your mouth and it's so cold and refreshing? That's what they feel all the time, okay? So it challenges the readers. Okay, it makes us really appreciate it and challenges us to think of how they see it as well, living in the slums. Okay, next part, the small splash. There's two techniques there. What do you reckon they are? Milan, do you want to guess what they are? Come on, Milan, focus, please. All right, small splash. It's onomatopoeia because it's splash, splash. It sounds like the word. And it's also alliteration. Small splash technique. And then what that is doing is it helps us to imagine the beautiful sound of the water. Okay. What's that? Right. Oh, sorry about that. Oops. Helps. voice. Now, this is my first time using this program, guys. I promise I'll get better at it. Okay, so the small splash, echo in a tin mug, the voice of a kindly God. What do you reckon, guys? That's right. Good girl, Jess. The voice of a kindly God. What technique? It is a metaphor. Okay. Whoops, hang on. Do an arrow. Over here. Okay. So it's comparing the water to a god, okay? And it highlights the blessing that water is, and it shows us that they have this hope that they're going to find more water. So just like God is a divine blessing to us, this water is a blessing to the people. It represents hope as well and comfort for these people. Okay. I'll just move that a little bit to the side here. To the voice of a kindly God. All right, let's move on to the next stanza. Sometimes the sudden rush of fortune, okay? I'm just going to stop there. The rush of fortune is actually a metaphor, a little bit of a hard one to pick up on. But the use of the word fortune, he's using it to show two different things, not just fortune as if it's a really expensive thing, but how lucky they are when they do obtain some water as well, okay? He had good fortune, which means, you know, he had good luck because they found water. So they're using it there in two different ways, and it is a metaphor, as well as a pun, I guess, because it's a play on words. So the sudden rush of fortune presents water as a valuable valuable thing and a representation of luck. Okay, another word for luck is fortune, good fortune. Okay, I'll just move that a bit closer there. The municipal pipe bursts, silver crashes to the ground. What's that, guys? Silver crashes to the ground. Yep, it's a metaphor. Because they're saying that something is something else. What's being something else? Silver. What do they mean by silver? Silver is the water. Okay? Why do you think they called it silver? Because it's rare and precious. That's right. Hope we don't run out of room. Alright, so silver shows... Oh, sorry. It's a metaphor. Silver shows the value of water. And it's also, if you want to write as well, it's imagery and onomatopoeia. Okay? Because the imagery is the silver crashing to the ground. We can actually picture the water, falling. And it's onomatopoeia because the word crashes. And I tried to read it with expression as well, like crashes to the ground, to show that you can just picture it falling to the ground, which makes you thirsty in some ways. All right, so silver crashes to the ground, and the flow has found a roar of tongues from the huts. You can see that there's that alliteration there, and it adds to this beautiful and satisfying scene, okay? So I'm just going to put a little... I'll try to highlight all those F's, so... Whoops. This one here. So from the huts and flow has found roar of tongues from the huts, okay? And all of those, I'm just going to do a line. It's alliteration. And imagery as well. Okay, and it adds to the scene. Okay, through the repetition of the F sound. Oops. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now he uses the words congregation, guys. From the hut, a congregation. What's this word related to? It's a religious imagery word. A congregation are the people of the church. Okay, so it relates to the church. He says every man and woman and child. This is a very religious sort of scene and setting. And they're using that, guys, to show that the water to them is almost like something to be worshipped, something to be praised. Okay, so you can add that in there. I'm not going to add it just because we're running out of room. Actually, no, I will add it. I will. I'm almost done. Sorry, guys, it has gone over 10 minutes, and I promise you next one won't. It's just because there's a lot to this poem. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight congregation. I'll do a little arrow. There we go. And I'm just going to write religious imagery. Okay. Oops, sorry. Now, with this, guys, I've actually given you the technique and the effect. So when you're writing an essay, you've actually got everything there for you, and you just need to put it all together, okay? All right, so religious imagery, show the reaction of the people who gather together for one purpose, just like we do in church to praise God, to celebrate and rejoice the blessing. This is how important it is to them, guys. Okay, almost done. Next thing we've got is the listing. See how it lists? It says, every man and woman, child for streets around, butts in with pots, brass, copper, aluminium, plastic buckets. There's a listing there, and there's the use of enjambment. Now, you guys remember this technique, enjambment, where it flows from line to line. There's no real thought process. It's very fluid. The use of listing and enjambment help to create this frantic sense, and it makes us really, it heightens the mood of the poem. And it shows us the excitement, okay, that these people are experiencing. So I want you guys to underline. I'm so bad at this, underlining stuff. Sorry, it shouldn't be black. All of this part here. Okay, brass, copper, plastic buckets, okay. Put a little arrow. Okay, so we're calling it listing and also enjambment. So we've got both techniques in there. Mint. Okay, it creates this frantic sense of excitement experienced by the people. Okay, they're running to get the water and they're so happy to do so. Okay, and the last one, guys, is the symbolic image of the naked children. Okay, what do you think this nakedness says about the children? Not just that they're poor or very warm, but it's symbolic of innocence as well. Okay, that's the last one we're going to write. I'm so sorry it's gone over. It shouldn't be. I won't make it longer than 15 minutes. But next one will be shorter. So we're going to call this symbolism. Representing innocence and hope. Okay. Very good. Make sure you've got that written, guys, for class next lesson. If you have any questions about any of it, please feel free to email me and we will talk about it more in class. Good job, everyone. Hope you understand it a little bit better. See ya!